To add an AP from the RUCKUS Cloud dashboard, you could either go to Networking Devices, and I could select Wi-Fi Devices and add an AP, or if I'm back in the dashboard, I can click on Add Network Devices and I can select Wi-Fi AP. It'll take you to the same menu either way. So the first thing is to select the venue that you want the AP to be on. So we're going to put it on our Foundry venue. Then you want to give the AP a name. And I'm going to call this one the H510 Foundry because it is an H510 AP. Next, you'll put in the serial number, and this is found on the back of the AP. And I'm just going to cut and paste mine in. You could put a description, and I'll put in Foundry H510. If you wanted to put in a tag, you can do that, and then go ahead and hit Create. Now, once you've created, it'll say Adding AP H510 Foundry. So at this point in time, if your AP is not plugged in, you would want to plug in the AP or plug in the PoE connector on the AP itself. So I've plugged in the AP, and now I'm going to go into my network devices, and I'll take a look at what's happening. And if you notice here that the H510, it says it's never contacted the cloud. So once that AP boots up, it's going to provision itself, and it's going to take about 60 seconds, and then you'll see some information about initializing. It'll probably take about 10 minutes or so for that to contact the cloud and be operational. And if I go back to the dashboard, you'll see that it says networking devices, that there are 3. It says that 2 are operational and 1 is in the setup phase. So if I click on that, it takes me back to my Wi-Fi APs, and we're still in the process of provisioning that AP and bringing it up. And the next message that you're going to get is that it's going to say that it is now initializing. So this is going to take a while longer, and after about 5 to 10 minutes, it'll go operational. So our AP has now been successfully installed. Now let's go ahead and place the AP on the floor plan. So I'm going to click on the AP, and then I'm going to go over under the properties here, and I'm going to click on Foundry. That was the venue that it was in, and you notice that I have 1 live active operational device. So I'm going to go ahead and position that on my floor plan. So it says that I have an unplaced device. I'm going to select Foundry, and I'm going to place that on my floor plan. And you'll notice that it says placing AP on the floor plan. That was successful. Good. All right. I want to focus on some other things over here. To the right of this, we also see that the mesh setting for this venue was on. So this AP can now function as a mesh AP. If I wanted to edit my radio settings, I would click on Edit, and I could go through my 2.4 gigahertz. If I wanted to do channel selection method, I could do channel fly or background scanning. By default, it's background. I could adjust the bandwidth to 20 or 40 megahertz. I could adjust the transmit power, and I could select or unselect which channels that I wanted this AP to function on. And I can do similar things over here on the 5 gigahertz side. One thing you might want to notice is that under bandwidth, I have more choices because it is 5 gigahertz. And I have my indoor APs, and I can select the channels that I want. By default, they're all enabled. And I also have the outdoor APs, and I can select or deselect certain channels for those as well. So I'll cancel out since I haven't changed anything. So under my LAN port settings, if I click on this, I would select the model number. And I'm going to select an H510, and this is a very unique AP. This is one that's used frequently in hospitality. So it's a little different than some of the other APs that we have, but we have 5 LAN ports on it. The back port here is the main Ethernet port, and you can select the type of port, whether it's access, general, or trunk. Depending upon what your selection here is, for example, if I pick general, you can change the VLAN untag ID, or you could change the VLAN number here as well. I'll put that back to access. And then LAN 2, you can set up the conditions for that, LAN 3, LAN 4, and LAN 5. So in effect, this H510 has a 4-port switch on it that you can customize. So I just want to point that out, that you can go in and customize the AP LAN port settings. So we'll cancel out on that. If you wanted to turn on syslog, you could do that, or location-based services if you had one of those. Another thing is your AP LEDs. So for example, this particular model would be something that would be used frequently in an MDU or a hospitality. So you might want to turn those LEDs off so people didn't see them at night when they were sleeping. So that's a function that we have there as well. And if I go back to the dashboard, you can see that we have 3 networking Wi-Fi devices that are now operational. And if I go to the teardrop for my Foundry, it's now turned green, and you can see that I have 1 Wi-Fi device and I don't have any clients on that right now. If I go up and I click on the Wi-Fi devices, that'll take me to the Wi-Fi tab, and I can see that I have 3 operational access points. So as you can see, it's very easy to add an access point to RUCKUS Cloud.